Yo, what's up? It's your boy DJ L7. Oh my god! Yo, this guest right here. Yo, you don't know how long I wanted this interview to happen, but it finally freaking happened, yo. Months, maybe even a year. I swear to you, yeah. I've been watching for a long time, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So check it out now, yeah. The Libertarians have been of super big interest. But I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Go ahead.
Hey, my name's Cary Harlos. I'm the National Secretary for the Libertarian Party. And also, I'm very involved with the history of the party. So I'm the chair of the Historical Preservation Committee. And I got my own YouTube channel at Pink Flame of Liberty, which some people know me only through that. So I've been doing a lot of political stuff.
Okay. It was really like when I was researching the Libertarian Party, because the thing is that, my interest in national politics was definitely reflamed when I was doing, work with the Tulsi campaign. And also there's like a lot of libertarian crossover within that campaign, which is cool. I definitely, I think honestly, libertarian has become, like, for me, right, it's probably always been relevant, but like now with the censorship and canceling and stuff, I feel like libertarianism is kind of like more important than ever. I'm tempted to go wholesale switch it to. Also, honestly, libertarians are the number one party of the third party space for a long ass time. I don't know how the hell they do it. We're gonna find out some of that information today. I want to know, yeah. So just before we get into, just to warm people up, right? Yeah, a lot of people have titles, but people know me. I'm like, I don't give a fuck who you say you are, But actually, right? Some people get put on for being whack, right? Yeah, but you definitely, I want to find out more about your activist background, right? When did you start in the game? How did you start? What's up?
Okay, I have no background before the LP, which is funny. I didn't get involved in politics at all. Like, I hated it. I didn't vote. I didn't do any of that. But I got interested just in some. Well, the funny thing is, I come from a fundamentalist religious background, and I owned a debate forum for years and years, and I've written a book on Christian theology. But I was arguing with some other Christians about some laws, and they were just getting me very angry with what they were saying, because it was didn't seem very Christian to me. They wanted to put spikes under underpasses to keep homeless people from sleeping there. And I got so upset over it. And they called me a liberal because I was getting upset. And in my circles, to be called a liberal was the worst thing ever. So I tried to backpedal really quick, and I told them, no, I'm more of a libertarian. But to be honest with you, I didn't know what that meant. That was just something to get out of it. And so I looked into it because I figured, well, if I just called myself something, I better know what it is. And it really was accurate. And that day, after I read the Libertarian Party platform, I switched my voter registration and turned activist on the spot, because the platform was just that powerful to me.
So when did this happen?
So it was that one debate, September 17th, 2014. Yes, I do know the exact date.
Damn. All right. Well, that's cool. That's cool, actually. So, my activism goes back over 20 years. I'm 45. I'm a lot older than I look. I'm also Christian, which is something that I definitely appreciate when I listen to your show. I've watched some episodes, and a Christian background. They are, there's a long history of persecution of activism within that religion. And you know what? Either way, right? If y'all want to be atheist, but I'm not mad at you. But when you're in a struggle, and that's where you're going to find a lot of political allies, by the way. When you find that struggle, and you got to dig for something to fucking help you, okay, God's always there for you, okay? So if you're having a weak moment, and you turn to God, that's what the fuck, that's okay, all right? I ain't mad at you, you know what I mean? So God bless to all my Christians out there. I'm Seventh-day Adventist. Do you have a certain denomination?
I used to be involved with Calvary Chapel, but not anymore. So, no, very non-denominational. But if I had to identify with a certain tradition at this point, it would be the Anabaptist Quaker tradition, even though I've never been formally affiliated with them. It's just what they, their pacifism and their egalitarianism is really what speaks to me,
Yeah, I like non-denominational too. I would also claim that, because I'm not about the politics and all of that in the church, I mean, I guess it got to happen, but I'm I'm just about I like it because they follow the word more closely, and I'm about that. Yeah.
No, so, I hear you. I know a lot of Seventh-day Adventists. I used to, as I said, own a theology debate forum, so I know people from every tradition. The website I used to own, which I gave up a while ago because I want to do other things, is theologyweb.com. A lot of people know that. It's a big deal in the debate, the V Bulletin debate forum area.
Okay. So look, there's a lot of people who are activists who watch my channel. I kind of like specialize with that audience, right? I'm not crazy. I don't really follow the algorithm. I don't care about blowing up. I got my core audience, and that's who I want to speak to. In fact, I kind of hope I stay small to a certain extent because I know my stuff is going to get banned. The second I get big, I know I'm going to start getting shut down. So I'm already on BitChute and all that other stuff because I'm prepared in advance. You know what I mean? I know the topics I'm talking about. Yo, I put BitChute on every one of my videos. You know what I mean? Like, and Daily Motion, all that stuff.
Yeah, but BitChute doesn't get hardly any views. I'm on BitChute too, and it's boring.
I don't know. I'm just there in case. YouTube is my main thing. I'm also in Odyssey and Library, whatever those things are. I just happen to mention those. I don't really watch them. I don't even know my stats. I just know I'm uploading their stuff occasionally, and I have a fallback plan. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, BitChute I've been paying attention to because you got to manually upload there. At least I do. I can't get the automatic transfer to work. And I'm just like, why am I even bothering? You get like 40 views and a comment from some 14-year-old wannabe Nazi. And it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to some of those issues later, but I still want to find out a little bit more about you. So the thing is that there's other activists who watch the channel, and they might be wondering, how do you go from looking up the definition because you don't know what the word is, and then in 6 years becoming the secretary for the National Party? So how did that happen?
Well, I've got weaponized autism, so once I get interested in something, it's my special interest. And any other autists out there will know how that goes. You just devote your entire freaking life to it. So, yeah, I joke, but that's probably pretty accurate. I just delved right into it because when I get interested in something, I get super interested in it. So, yeah, I just dove right in and third-party politics, as you know, it's small, and if you're dedicated, you can rise pretty high pretty fast because it's a small pond, to be honest with you.
Okay, so people who's in my chamber know that pretty much just described me right there, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about why was libertarianism founded, and what are its current goals?
Well, it was founded originally as a reaction to Richard Nixon. So like the founders, when Richard Nixon put in the wage and price controls and didn't get out of Vietnam the way he promised, and the draft was going on at that time, and there was a lot of racial tensions like there is today, like the Black Panthers were big then, and getting rid of, finally eliminating the gold standard, just like it really pissed these free market people off, and that's why it was formed. They tried to reform the Republican Party. They were involved with a group called Young Americans for Freedom, not Young Americans for Liberty, which is the group that exists today. And they knew that the old parties were corrupt and that they wanted to change things. They had to start something on their own. And the goals today, obviously, it's to break the two-party stronghold. Everything's rigged to be two parties at this point. And I know some libertarians will get mad at me for saying this. Things won't be no better if we knock the Republicans off and it just becomes two parties with Democrats and libertarians. Two-party systems suck. I don't care if one of them's the libertarians. There need to be a bunch of different views if we're going to have politics to begin with. At heart, I'm an anarchist. I don't believe in politics at all. But they're here. So you got to deal with reality. And that's why I'm a political anarchist, which some people think is contradictory. It's not. I want more voices. I want more voices and down to smaller units. Because what do people in Washington know about us here in Colorado? They don't know shit. They barely know their backyard.
That's also interesting to me because I do have, for me, different libertarianism and socialism. I was socialist for a while. Now what I do is I kind of think of them as tools in a toolbox. So I use different, tools for different things. So for you, right, and this anarchist thing is something that I think protects the interests of minorities. I think libertarian also does that, right? Which socialism sometimes doesn't and often is oppressive. So the thing is that what do you think what do people usually mistake where they think that anarchy and libertarianism are different?
Well, it's just ignorance, and there's a lot of libertarians, honestly, that are ignorant. Some of the party founders were anarchists. They think they're different because libertarianism is a pretty broad spectrum. So you can be limited government, so they tend to think, well, how can you guys be of the same party if some of you believe in some government and some of you believe in no? And they don't know that the national like party considers those issues so far away and insignificant right now that it's not worth fighting about. When the time comes when it's worth fighting about, yeah, then maybe we'll separate, but that day ain't nowhere near, that. So the differences between a monarchist, little tiny government person and an anarchist is slight. Like, it's so little that for us to be fighting amongst ourselves is just so dumb. I just think people like to fight. Like, now, I don't fight over that issue.
Okay, that's cool, but what percentage of the libertarians would you say share your view about the ties between libertarian and anarchism?
Well, that's really, that I don't know. Like, that'd be tough to say. Out of the activists, out of the people who are in leadership, nearly all of them, because you can't be in the party and not be aware of that.
Well, I have to give your organization credit because they allow you to write on their webpage, right? Yeah, that you're also anarchist too.
What page do you mean?
On the Libertarian webpage, doesn't it say on your description that you're the secretary, but also you're an anarchist somehow?
Oh, I don't know.
It might. I don't know. Let's take a look. Yeah, but if they do,
if you're talking about Elpedia, but they put up videos of mine where I talk about anarchy and stuff like that. I mean, the statement of principles, which is the foundational document of the LP, is it doesn't use the word anarchy, but it might as well. I mean, everyone who reads it knows that.
Yeah. This is what appeals to me so much about libertarianism, their commitment to free speech. That is really like, even if, there's someone in the party who's maybe a little bit more anarchist leaning, and some people, like you said, most leadership doesn't agree with it, that you're still secretary, you still have like a position and that's pretty cool. So, I think that honestly, that's kind of what we need, because you see all this fighting on social media, people can't stand each other, but libertarians seem to have some type of unique solution. Not only that, but they're also very successful. What do you think is the reason for libertarian? A lot of people say libertarians are like, one guy that I know, I still love him to death, yeah, he says libertarians are like cats. They don't want any government. They're just going to roam around with no direction or thing. Then how are they beating the socialists that are, right? So how does that work?
Well, I actually was very imprecise in my last terminology too, so I need to back up. Sure. Libertarians don't have a problem with government. They have a problem with the state. Government is inevitable. Like, if you're a church person too, like me, you're religious, there's church government. You got to have government or things aren't going to you're always going to have leaders. Somebody's always going to be the leader. But the question is, whether it's voluntary or not, whether everyone under the leadership, everyone, not 50%, everyone under that leader has consented. So we don't have a problem with government as long as it's voluntary. The nature of the state is that it's mob rule and it's involuntary to millions of people. I don't consent to any of this shit. None of it. Just because I was born here, I popped out of a vagina on certain longitude and latitude means I got to accept all of it. No, I don't. No, I
love
don't.
that message. I love that message. People who watch my channel, they know that's very appealing to me. I'm sure like in these days and times, it's very appealing to so many people.
I wish it was appealing to more. I tend to think lately people don't want to be free. And not only that, they don't want you to be free either. I don't care if someone else doesn't want to be free, but they don't want me to be either. You want to go be a slave, you go be a slave, do you, boo? But don't be trying to tell me I got to live in that, because I don't.
Okay, so.
That's my problem. I don't care what people want to do with their own lives if they don't try to force me.
Word up. So. Look, you've been an activist for a while. You have like a position where you get to see things at a national level, which is freaking awesome. So you have a broad perspective. So with this perspective, right, what do you think is like the most effective things that you've seen activists do out there? You know what I mean? Other activists are watching. They're like, dang, what can I do to be more effective? Well, your suggestion is?
Well, my suggestion is, okay, not everybody agrees with me on this, but if you look at history, big social changes have taken place just because a core group of people is very dedicated and very loud. So I don't believe in playing anything safe. Even if you look at the origin of the Christian church, it was 12 people that started it and they turned the world upside down. You look at the American Revolution, it was like, 6% of the population. That's hardly anybody. So activists are successful when they realize they have nothing to lose and act like it, because people who have nothing to lose are dangerous.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I say.
Wait. Holy shit. Wait. I got too excited. Fuck. The fuck did I do? God damn it. Wait, what the fuck? Hold on a second. Oh my goodness. Okay, whoa. Did you hear that loud buzz? I got too fucking excited. Holy shit.
I didn't hear that. I just saw the flailing around.
I just got too. I hit a chord, but now I could hear you. Wow. I'm super excited. Okay, that's what I fucking love. Yeah. Anyway, let's move it on. Okay, so how does your organization make decisions?
I'm sorry, you cut out for 1 sec.
How does your organization make decisions?
It's different on each level, you know. So it depends on what level you're talking about. So nationally, you know, we have a board. You know, most things, you know, it's a political organization, so some of it's quite boring and tedious. So, you know, there's a governing board, but the national party is not as important as the state parties. So most decisions are made at the state or county level, not at the national level. The national level is responsible for putting on a presidential campaign and a national convention. And that's really the only things we're required to do. But because of the ballot censorship, we do a lot with ballot access and things like that. But most of the decisions are made at the state and county level. And that's how it should be.
I am intensely interested in this position right here, because for a long time, I've been organizing, I told you 20 years, I'm fucking frustrated as fuck that we haven't made more progress, and I'm fucking goddamn determined. I don't care if I gotta take every leadership in every organization on. I will bring us together. I'm not gonna be a leader in this shit, you know what I mean? And I really, because I think leadership is often a trap, right? Yeah. So honestly,
oh, it can be.
Absolutely. These people don't, like, a lot of youngins, they've like, oh yeah, let me play leader, you know what I mean? Let me try this, experience this. I ain't mad at you, have that experience, but I'm telling you, there's a reason why an old cat like me is staying to the fucking side, you know what I mean? But still, you see me making a lot of moves and making shit happen, you know what I mean? But I'm the people who have the titles respect, you know what I mean? That's a warrior position right there, and I can tell you warrior. Like
but
that.
You know, I'm listen, I'm not on the national governing board to make friends, and I don't sometimes, because the minute I start going along to get along or circling the wagons to protect the organization for at all sakes, no, I won't do that. And, you know, I've said to people on the LNC that the governing board is where radicals go to die sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, this radical ain't dying there. You know, the minute I start not being a radical, I'm quitting the board.
Quick question, okay? So you have these different states, and then you'll have different factions. Maybe one faction says, oh, those libertarians over there, we don't like them. We got to kick them out. Oh, no! Right? Yeah? How do y'all handle that?
We don't have any provisions for kicking people out. There's absolutely none.
That's not allowed.
For kicking people out.
That's not allowed.
You're
not allowed to kick people out. Ooh, I like that. What up? Yeah, I like that.
Now,
honestly,
level,
I like that too. Yeah.
You know, state parties can be different, but nationally, our national membership, there's no provision for throwing people out.
Yeah.
We have one requirement for membership, and that is that you sign a pledge saying that you disavow the use of force to achieve political or social goals. And as long as you affirm that pledge, you're a national member. That's it. People don't gotta like you. Nobody votes on your membership. If you sign that pledge, you're a member.
I respect that. I like that. You know what I mean? I'm about nonviolence myself. That's why I go so hard. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to. Lazy people do violence, but you know, sometimes.
Yeah, but see, here's where the libertarian it gets a little. Let me tell you though, where it gets unique though, libertarians don't grant government an exception to that pledge. We hold everyone to that standard. Government does not get a free pass. So almost everything government does is fucking violence.
We'll talk about that later, about my 5 favorite Bible story, and like at the end and maybe after, yeah? Maybe another episode. I would love to do another episode with you, but I want to get through all these questions, and I have another interview with actually the Brooklyn Libertarian guy with this New York City project we got coming up. I'm very excited about that.
Awesome.
Okay, so so what do you think are the most common misconceptions about libertarianists or libertarianism?
That we're Republicans who smoke pot, and that couldn't be further from the truth. For 2 reasons, we're not freaking Republicans. We're not conservative. Like, a lot of people think, like, if we run a libertarian candidate, everyone thinks we pull votes away from the Republicans, and that's not true. In research done after the fact, we pull pretty equally from the left and the right. It's not just the conservatives. And the Republicans aren't conservatives anymore anyway. I don't know what the hell they are. They're not conservative. But I think like the last conservative might have been Reagan, and he was a neocon too, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, a lot of people think we have more in common with the Republicans. We don't have much in common with either of the two parties today. We really don't.
Gonna give a quick shout out to my boy Lone Wolf Podcast, the red on the blue on one side, saying that he's in the middle. You know what I mean? Shout out to Reed Coverdale, shout out to the Jackman Brothers, shout out to all the Libertarian producers, including Pink Flame Liberty. You should subscribe right the fuck now. You know what I mean? This lady's cool as hell. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna be watching more of your content. You interested as fuck. You know what I mean? That's what's up. I don't know until I do the interviews, honestly. I don't have time to watch everybody's shit. I just watched a couple.
Oh, I get you.
But you know what I mean? I'm trying to find warriors in this game because we're gonna make shit happen. So, all right. So, as an activist, what do you think are the biggest obstacles to your organization's success?
In politics, the two old parties, because the laws they pass to benefit each other, you know, it's meant to keep all other people out.
Let's talk about an example right now. We're fighting some of that bullshit right now. Tell us. Go ahead. You tell me.
All over the place. Oh my! It's not in one place. Arizona it's crazy. Listen, I could multiply like examples. New York, when Larry Sharpe got the ballot access in New York, what did happen? They immediately changed the laws to make it harder. Each time we pass whatever impossible hurdle, they turn around and they make it harder. We had states who in the middle of coronavirus wouldn't waive the ballot access petitions. So they're telling you can't go outside, and on one hand, and then telling us on the other side, you got to go outside and get 100,000 petitions. You got to walk up to people. And nobody wants nobody walking up to them in the middle of the pandemic. They bend all the third parties over and pull down their panties and screw them right in the ass. That's all they do. And what's funny, I love it. I love it when they fuck up and it comes to bite themselves in the ass. I forgot what state it was, but it's either 2016 or 2020. One of those two, their own requirements almost kept them off the ballot. But what did they do? All their legislatures wrote a waiver for their own ass, as they do. But it's corrupt. Most average people do not know, like, what it takes to get on the ballot. Everyone believes this lie that little Johnny could grow up to be president. No, he can't, unless he kisses Republican and Democrat ass. He can't, because the system is rigged against keeping other people on the ballot. You think when you go to that ballot, you're engaging in democracy and that these are just the choices that rose to the top. No, they're not.
Let me tell you something specific that's going on in New York right now. Right now, you know what I mean? The Democrats and Republicans only got to get 1.5% of the base, but the independents and the libertarians who they kicked off by raising the ballot access restrictions, right? Also, right, they're on lawsuit for that. Also, now they got to get 2.5%. But remember, by standard, right, you usually get double the amount of petitions in order that you need so that you can pass the thing. So that means that, right, it turns from 3% to 5%. You get what I mean? So the number actually doubles. What the hell? You know what I mean? And if you're representative that's running as a Democrat or Republican and they are silent on this, then don't you think that they might be silent on issues that concern you instead of the lobbyists? It's not fucking rocket science, you know what I mean? Yeah, so definitely trying to take on that bullshit. So I love that answer right there. Now let's move on to
one other thing there. I laughed my ass off at the Republicans crying about how they didn't think this last election was fair. I go, oh, you all of a sudden care about fair elections? Kiss my ass, Tucker Carlson. You don't give a shit about fair elections.
Damn. All right, Tucker, damn. All right, let's talk about what are your thoughts on the current situation? That's a broad question, I know.
What, Biden with the shit he's
anything,
doing?
the whole thing,
no amendment is absolute. Let me tell you, when I first heard that, my first thought, I'm not going to do this, but I'll just tell you what my first thought was. I got to do a podcast where I'm wiping my ass with his picture, because how dare he? Like, what kind of ego has to be on a person where they think they have the fucking right to do that? Like, I'm not a violent person, but I want to punch him in the head. Now the freaking FBI is probably going to be after me, but I'm nonviolent. Like, I don't even defend myself. I'm a pacifist. But oh my God, what kind of ego do you have to have? Like, how does your head fit out of a room with it being that freaking big? I do not understand. I feel that way about all the legislatures, but no amendment is absolute. Who died and made you God? Like, I just don't get it. Nobody gave him a mandate for that shit. And the funny thing is, everyone thought Trump was going to be the tyrant. Look who's turning into Mr. Tyrannosaurus. It's Mr. Remember half my life, senile Joe Biden. It's crazy what is going on. Absolutely crazy. And it proved the hypocrisy of both sides. Listen, I already know the Republicans are hypocrites because I came from there. But all those people who were screaming about Trump, they've all now went, when it's Biden, when he's pulling shit that they would have just crapped their pants over if it was Trump. There's no integrity. There's no integrity. And most of these political commentators, no freaking integrity in any of them.
Got it. Word up. So, yo, I have this crazy shirt. You're going to see it later, yeah? We're going to, on the next episode. Anyways, let's get to this next one over here. So, look, there's other organizations that may claim to be similar to libertarians. What makes your organization unique?
Like which ones? I don't know any that claim to be similar to libertarians. Well, politically,
you never know. Okay.
I mean, there's libertarian think tanks, but like those are support organizations, we're the political wing. So, any other organizations that I think are in the libertarian sphere, they do different things. We might believe the same things, but like the Cato Institute or the Reason Foundation, they're the educational branch. And the LP is the political branch. So,
well, I could tell you what I find unique. Yeah, I find unique. I find your presence unique. I find someone who has an ideological difference, who's willing to call out members who are high-ranking members, national members of their own executive committee, right? Yeah, you look at the Democrats; they're all like, "Mama Bear," you know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? And I respect that commitment to free speech. But honestly, I can't say that there's other organizations that are superficially similar, and you're right about that, right? Who else has that level? So you're right, you know what I mean, on that. But I don't know, maybe there's a heretical wing of libertarians or something. Hey, look, I'm kind of new to it, you know what I mean? Maybe you're the heretical wing. I don't know, right? Yeah, according to some people.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably meet them eventually. I guess it'll be, I don't even know. We'll see, yeah? Okay. So look, what social media platforms are you promoting on? You do anything else? You do Twitch or anything?
I do. No, because it's like limited time. So basically, it's just Facebook, Twitter, MeWe, and like YouTube. That's like all I have time for.
Interesting. My boy Larry Alger's on there. You know him?
Well, Facebook has been banning libertarians left and right. So a lot of libertarians are on MeWe because whole groups been getting purged like with no excuse. So I don't know how I'm still there. Like some people who are like way less offensive than me got zucked, but so I maintain a presence there because I'm figuring it'll happen sooner or later. But yeah, that's all I got time for.
I'm joining MeWe. I'm sorry, Larry. I took this lady to make me do it, but
yeah.
You've been waiting for me over there. Yeah, Larry's my boy though, for real. Yeah, gotta love him to death. All right, cool. So that's cool. So I'll put the links in the description or just put them in a comment or something. So what are the organization's plans for the future?
Well, again, I hate pausing on these questions, but a lot depends upon which area you're talking about.
I'm sorry, give me a second, yeah? I have a call. What the hell? Something on. Give me a second, yeah?
Yep. Sure, yeah.
Hello? Who is this? Hello? Goodbye. Bye. All right. I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay.
Back to the issue at hand. All right.
Yeah.
So
it depends on what level you're talking about, because the states are autonomous, so each state could have like its own plans. But nationally, we're working on building like a better infrastructure to support the state parties. So like, the one thing the two old parties are great at is their data. They know like they've got Act Blue. They've got all that down pat. So we're really trying to build up to that infrastructure to have, the political parties live and die on data. And that's what we're really working on right now.
Actually, one thing that me and like Theo Chino, you heard of him?
Who?
Theo Chino? Nope,
no idea.
Well, I'll talk about him later when we talk about the event that's coming up. But okay. What are your own personal plans for the future? You got I think you said you got a show coming up. Like, what kind of series you got coming up? You got any specials, cool interviews? What's up?
Well, I do the historical stuff. So that's what I'll be working on for a while. And I'm doing a series coming up on the LPTV, which is the official YouTube channel of the National Party, working on training people on how to be national convention delegates, because a lot of people just don't know that. A lot of people coming into the LP have never been politically active. So they got to be trained on some of the basics. Like most of them don't know anything about that. I didn't when I started. So I'll be doing that. So it's a lot of the historical stuff because that's really what I'm interested in. So I'm constantly working on that. That's where I was today. Like I was at the archives working. Every Saturday I'm at the archives.
Sure. I want to ask you about some of these other things over here. So you know Tulsi Gabbard, right?
Yeah, she's a badass, man. When she told Kamala what's that, I like her because she said the truth. She didn't kiss ass. I'm tired of plastic politicians.
What do you think?
Now, I don't agree with her. I don't agree with her on economics, but on everything other than economics, she's really good.
What would you think about Tulsi running on the Libertarian ticket?
She'd have to change her economics.
That's fair.
Because she's not libertarian at all on economics. And most libertarians believe that economics is the foundation to everything else. So that's a big issue. But she's very well liked. Like she wouldn't have to change very much. People in the LP love her. They love her because she called out the war hawks and the drug warriors. Like, she didn't kiss ass, and libertarians love that. But as I said before, government is force. And when you start talking about these policies where you're redistributing wealth, that is thieving from people. And libertarians aren't gonna support people who are supporting theft. But as I said, she would need to change just a little because we already love her.
Okay. Question. I just got a couple of questions about that. So in terms of economics, do you mean like she's supporting things like big banking or Federal Reserve or something? By which
no,
economic
we don't support any of that.
No, but does Tulsi? I mean, which economic? I mean, maybe she does. I didn't know if she did. I never heard her say anything about it. Maybe she did. Which economics are you calling out?
Okay. For instance, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because again, my head is really far up the libertarian ass, so sometimes I don't know always what's going on. But from from what I understand, like that she's spoken favorably for like this Medicare for all type thing.
Okay, and I agree with that, right? Okay, but I also agree that she also provides for a private option. You get what I mean?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because
that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. So what? I get to pay for everybody else's and for my own. Gee, thanks, Tulsi. That's wonderful. No. That's thieving from people to give to other people, and that ain't right. So, and that would be the biggest disaster. So that's a big thing. But I believe that she also supports, just like the current welfare state. Like without saying something specific, I've never heard her talk about getting rid of any entitlements. So at a minimum, she supports what we have now, even if she doesn't want to expand it anymore other than the healthcare thing. So, what libertarians want to hear is you're rolling back that you're putting more power in the hands of the individuals to make their own way, rather than making everybody equally miserable type thing. Even if she still believed in some kind of safety net, if she wanted to at least roll back some of the shit, I think that's all that would take to open the door. Because things are so big right now that even if you just wanted to reduce, that's better, because everyone seems to want to increase. On those things, libertarians are pretty hardcore. Republicans used to be, but they ain't. They're as big government as anybody else. They just believe in different areas. They kiss military ass. They want to make that as big as possible, while the Democrats want to make other things bigger. It doesn't matter. It's
all of our institutions are so corrupt and so broken that I don't have any faith in giving them more money or really funding them without a complete restructuring of the whole entire everybody there. Like people gotta go, straight up they're gone. Yeah, the opioid epidemic. You know what I mean? The the fact that our country is one of the few that allows drug commercials on TV. I mean, I guess the libertarians would allow it. You know what I mean? But all these things, right, where the U.S. is and the high cost versus the outcomes, it's just really sad, you know what I mean? And it's just not working. Anyways, but I appreciate your perspective on that so much. Yeah, by the
way, libertarians would allow drug commercials on TV. You're right.
Yeah, that's cool, yeah. So I respect that, you know what I mean? I could respect that position on a free speech point of view, but, I would just say, like, if you compare like different countries, that the U.S. really kind of like the healthcare system is really built poorly versus other countries, just as in terms of
It's
outcomes.
built poorly because the government keeps intervening. Let me give you just a prime example.
I agree.
There's one area of medicine where the costs have gone consistently down. And what that is elective procedures, because the government has kept its filthy paws off of it. LASIK has gone down because insurance doesn't cover it and the government doesn't have it in its health plans. And the minute the government gets out of it, the free market drives the cost down. If we actually had a free market health system, it would be cheap because there'd be competition. It's government that's making it cost more. And we think, oh, we just need to add more government. No, we need to get the government the hell out of it.
What about insurance companies?
Insurance companies are in bed with the government right now.
Yeah.
So all of the special privileges and all that crap, that needs to go away. I don't have a problem with insurance if it's actually free market insurance, but it isn't.
That's a good
The
point.
government, for one thing, is telling insurance what they have to cover, which is ridiculous. And here's what's ridiculous. You can't buy health insurance across state lines. What the hell? Why? Why can't you buy health insurance? Why? And then these Medi-Share groups, there used to be like that Christian group, Medi-Share. The government's trying to shut that down. They don't want these voluntary associations. Before there was the welfare state now, you want to know the way people got taken care of? Through fraternal societies. Like, people think they're just kind of cute now, but those old fraternal societies like the Elk Club and the Moose Club and all them, they used to have a lodge doctor that was retained by all of the members, and you could just go in there if you were a member and get health care. You want to know who shut that down? The government and the AMA, because the more snobby doctors were like, really, we're going to have these lowly working class people bossing some doctor around in a lodge? We can't have that. We're the upper class.
Right.
No, people were getting health care. Free market solutions will arise. Nobody wants people to be sick. Nobody does.
Hey,
But the solution isn't the state. No.
So the thing is that, like, we look at governments around the world and across history, and you could say that there's some self-proclaimed socialist governments out there. Which governments are closest to maybe a libertarian ideal, or are there any self-proclaimed libertarian governments throughout the world or history?
Well, oh my God, I'm forgetting the name. There's that country that everyone's not recognizing yet. Crap. Oh crap, what's the name of it? It's in this little, they're gonna kill me, Liberland.
Okay.
And it's like this unclaimed territory that like nobody's claiming. So these people moved in and like claimed it, and they have their own constitution and stuff, but nobody recognizes them as a legitimate country. If they ever get recognized, they're libertarians. And then there's like people on these like deep sea oil rigs that are abandoned, that are doing seasteading and stuff like that. But again, nobody recognizes them, but that'd be very, very libertarian. A lot of countries have different elements of it, but I can't think of one that has enough that I would say it's a very libertarian country. I mean, I could take some countries and point to one aspect, like Portugal, with the way that they've decriminalized all drugs. That is extraordinarily libertarian. But of course, in other areas, they're not. So I could point to a lot of different areas. When before Hong Kong got taken over again, that was there was a lot of very libertarian elements there, but we just need to combine all these in one country, right? But Portugal right now is who I'll always point to, because nearly every violation of our civil rights here today is driven by the drug war. The reason why we're cracking on guns today is because of the drug war. The reason we're all upset, I'm not, but some people are all upset about brown people coming in through the southern border, it's because of the drug war. We are doing more damage to our own citizens and the entire world. We are the ones empowering the drug cartels. Do you think there'd be drug cartels in Colombia if we didn't have, if cocaine wasn't illegal here, so that had to be all done illegally? No, we'd be growing that shit here. There wouldn't be cartels. They would be legitimate businessmen.
Yeah.
But we are causing all of that. And we are impoverishing the minority communities through the bullshit of all of that. Listen, human beings are going to do drugs. They have since the dawn of time, and they're going to the end of time. So, you can't be prohibiting that.
go.
If someone wants to put
Legalized.
something in their body, that ain't nobody's business.
Hey, but quick question. I love that right there. But this has been one of the reasons why I've been dying to talk to libertarians as well. So the thing is that, right, I entered MPP, right, yeah? They call themselves a people's party, right, yeah? So the people can take over the party. So what if we, right, had the thing is that I'm trying to assemble a coalition of different people to show up on the day of the bylaws convention, and we can assure that their resources and that their, membership lists and everything are shared with all the people who show up on that day. Are the libertarians down?
Well, we don't believe like in taking over other people's
No, it's
movements.
not taking over. It's just fighting for your rights. Oh my God. Oh.
Yeah, but why would we listen? Just join the Libertarian Party. Why go over there? People try to take us over all the time, so we kind of have
I go into
let me tell you.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if you saw the show I did on the MPP where it was called Trouble in Paradise, because I see the cracks forming, because Branna tries to play the game with, everything's voted on, until they did that advisory council, which wasn't fucking voted on and which was sprung on everybody. I said, ooh, Trouble in Paradise. I knew that was coming.
Okay.
I knew that was coming.
Just so you know, I actually was removed from the organization over 260 days ago. For 200, lately I've been taking a little bit of time between the posts, right? But for 260 consecutive days, I've been posting to Twitter, that organization needs to have a vote to put Assange on the platform, a fucking vote. At a people's,
that'd be awesome.
At a people's party, but they can't do that shit, and they kicked my ass out. And I'm gonna show you. I know you love that gangster shit, kind of. We're gonna see. You said like it sounds like you're anti-drugs. I ain't mad at that.
I'm not anti-drugs.
You're from Colorado?
I'm not pro. Well, see, I don't like pot, but I'm not anti-pot.
Not mad at you.
I personally don't do drugs, but I'm not anti-drugs.
What? I'm
not anti-drugs at all. And the only reason I'll say this, that I don't do drugs, is because I'm too fucking busy. If I had more money and more time, I'd do some drugs. I don't think drugs are bad. I think human beings have always desired intoxicants. And anyone who drinks alcohol, they don't think drugs are bad either. They have their drug of choice, and it just happens to be legal.
I'm on point. I'm getting my shit done. You know what I mean? How do you feel about this interview? You could tell I'm on it. You know what I mean? I ain't fucking floating around. I'm not like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck that, yo.
I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid to be puritanical about drugs. I think you need to be realistic about that's, people are going to do them. And you shouldn't be destroying lives. And nearly everyone, it's just like, all those pastors who are like so vehemently anti-gay, you find out they're gay. Mm-hmm. Like all of these peoples that are so like looking down on drugs, I bet you they do drugs. That's why they're acting like that. Okay. They got skeletons in their closet, so they're trying to act like they're holier than everybody else. The funny thing with libertarians is because we're so pro-drug legalization, I can tell you I have never, though, met a bigger bunch of squares. I don't know very many libertarians that do drugs. That's what's funny, because they're so like legalize heroin or whatever.
I know.
I went to Vegas for a libertarian convention when I was brand new, and I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be wild. No, it wasn't. Yeah. They were all in bed at 10 o'clock.
I want to go back to getting things done. So I'm very saddened about the coalition thing. That's okay, though. Hey, look, every Saturday I hold a meeting, Green Party, Libertarians, Republicans, Democrats, right? And then we see what we can agree on. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So actually, I still want to talk about what can we, right? If we can't, honestly, we're trying to take over the United States. So honestly, we should practice with MPP anyways, right? That should just be easy practice versus taking over the Democrats and Republicans, okay? So y'all should do this. I'm still cheering for this shit, don't listen to Pink Flame. She's confused right now. I'm gonna bring her around. I'm willing to do that, but what are you guys gonna do for me then? Can you guys, if I join, will you guys join me in this? As a libertarian,
you don't
I'll take
over other groups, man. People.
You can't stop me from doing that. That's not libertarian. You can't stop me from doing that.
Did I try to stop you? I just said I wasn't gonna.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm still doing it. Yeah. I'm still doing it. All right. I'm mad at you. All right. So, but what can we work on together then? Because I want to work with you on something.
Ballot access, ranked choice voting, and all the social issues we agree upon. Drug legalization.
We got this event. We We got this event coming up in New York City that I want you to be a part of. There's this guy named Theo Chino. I'm going to tell you about him right now. I told you earlier about that, yeah? So the thing is, Theo Chino has released all the voter data to the public. Though it's true those lists are made available by FOIA request, but he's consistently been asking for them. He just asked for a new round recently, and he's publishing them to a website and just making them free for everybody, yeah? So fuck the consultants, right? You don't have a budget. He's making it more democratic. Also, we have the list of all the candidates. He's got something called the shit list, right? Yeah, where he calls them out for, like, if they're silent about certain corruption issues like this. Let's put this 1.5, 2.5% on there. By the way, if you're a Democrat and you're a Republican, I know you'll be doing interviews on the channel, okay? Maybe, honestly, you know, it's kind of fucked up for me to say this, okay? A little bit fuck you, straight up, if you're gonna let this happen because it's unfair and you know, right?
Oh,
am I right or am I wrong? It's just unfair. Yeah. So are you gonna fucking fix this, or are you gonna play politics and hook up your people? What the fuck? You know what I mean? That's not how this is supposed to, that's not how you're gonna get votes, all right? You're gonna get smacked for that. Anyways, so, like, look, we made it, and this, another thing that they do is they make it very difficult. They, like, say, like, you gotta put these freaking paper clips versus staples. They will just straight up throw out your ballot petition. You get what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
So the thing is that we are running a workshop to help these people organize their stuff together because, you know, like, some people gotta, like, hire lawyers to like, look at their stuff. We're gonna help you do it free, okay? We're not guaranteeing it. We're gonna work together as a unit to make sure everything goes in correct. And also, we're going to have a forum debate exclusively for independent and third-party, candidates. No Democrats or Republicans, to especially bring attention to you who are suppressed. Yeah, so what can libertarians, right? Libertarians I know might be looking for candidates right now, right? I would love for you guys to network with them and provide an opportunity for them to talk with you and maybe get to know your base and see what they have in common with you. You think you could show up? Yeah. And maybe offer them someone to talk to?
When is it?
Monday at 7 p.m.
So online, you're saying?
Yes.
I'd have to look at my calendar, but if I'm free.
Matt Morgan might show up too. I'm about to see him at 8 o'clock, yeah? So
Who?
he's the I think I said the name right. He's the Brooklyn representative.
What's his name again?
Matt something or Mike? I gotta take a look. He's the Brooklyn, wait, let me take a look, yeah?
Yeah, because there's a New York party's pretty big.
Yeah, I feel you. Wait, where is it? Okay, you're here. Wow. Yeah, I've been really, like, okay, so the thing is, I went to Libertarian because I wanted to learn, you know, like, I remember y'all from, like, back in the day when I was doing the socialist thing, because y'all newspapers around. What's that thing called again? Federalist or something?
What, LP News?
Federalist?
We have LP News.
Yeah, but I saw those things around. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't.
No?
It could be from a different organization.
I'm from Buffalo, that's why. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, again, state parties and the local parties have their own deal sometimes.
Okay. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm looking for my database here. Okay. So, yeah, we're about open source and stuff like that, so that's cool. Give me a second. Okay. And candidates. Oh, yes. Okay. Matt Morgan.
No, don't. But that doesn't mean anything because, again, the locals, I don't know everybody,
No
but I was
problem.
hoping I might know them.
Yeah, me too. It's okay. So, so this event, you know what I mean? It would be very cool to have, and you definitely stand out. When I looked at the Libertarian page, right, I hit up a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Actually, Reed put me on to a Nicholas Sauer, so shout out to Reed. Please subscribe to the channel too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and does Nick have his own YouTube? He should.
That I don't know.
Yeah,
I know
big,
he's involved. He's involved with a libertarian think tank in New Hampshire. So I think that's what he's doing right now because he's our former chair.
Who's the new chair?
He was chair.
Yeah, he was chair
the
for
new
a
chair
while.
is Joseph Bishop. Yeah, he was chair since 2014 to 2020. And our new chair is Joseph Bishop Henchman out of D.C. But Nick now, I think, is doing a libertarian think tank in New Hampshire because he moved to be part of the Free State Project. So I don't think he does YouTube, though. He's pretty busy himself because he's a lawyer, you know, and he's still practicing. So I know he's got a lot of stuff going on with that. His wife, though, is still on the LNC. His wife, Valerie, is on the governing board with me.
Okay.
And he's got 4 or 5 kids now. He keeps popping out those kids.
I cannot be 2 parties at the same time, right?
What?
I cannot be 2 parties at the same time, can I?
registered, like you can't, but like member you can.
Okay.
Ron Paul was a member of the Republican Party and the Libertarian Party.
Okay, cool. All right, so I've been agreeing for a long time, and I want to, like, find ways that we can work together. Yeah, but I really
Yeah, no,
think
there's lots of
libertarians are
things we
strong.
can. There's lots of things we can work together on.
Yeah,
Absolutely, because there's lots of points of agreement.
and Greens have a
And
long
that's what.
history of socialism, but I'm no longer socialist. So, you know what I mean?
Well, that
I do.
you're a
yeah.
smart man then. Listen,
It's been sad. It's been sad. You know, I mean, seeing the results, but it just has never worked out. Never.
Well, you got to let people evolve their views. That's I like don't argue with people very much. I prefer to talk about where we agree.
Yeah.
Because listen, I used
Maybe
to have
I
a lot
will
of
just become a
socialist ideas,
libertarian. Like
too.
I'm very close to it. You know what I mean? The free speech is huge for me, right? And especially right now.
Oh, the
it's so
free
important.
speech thing right now.
Yeah.
And that's one thing actually that impressed me, at least by the people I heard on the MPP, like Annalise. Like I watch her show every once in a while, and she's really into the free speech aspect.
Not in real
but you
life.
can't-
She's into it.
No,
and
see, I don't know
she
her
talks
personally.
about it, but in real life, hell
Yeah.
no. She's a suppressor.
Yeah.
She's an oppressor. You know what I
See,
mean?
yeah, all I
Hell
know
no.
is the
Yeah.
show.
That's all right.
That
Yeah.
who's she had that show on with the lady who's the producer of the Jimmy Dore show.
No, the wife. That's Steph Zambrano. Steph.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the wife.
so-
Yeah. And they're close. Look, it's kind of been funny out there. Look, Dore is suppressing me actually, but I got love out for Dore.
Listen-
He did a lot of good work in the game, straight up. But honestly, in this MPP game, he committed to Nick Brana, and I get he's a personal friend, bro. But I'm telling you right now, what he's doing to me is wrong and criminal. They accused me of.
Listen, here's the
I'm
impression I
fight
get.
all the
You
way,
told-
bro.
you- Is
Huh?
this
Go ahead.
like? Okay, this is the impression I get. I'm not part of it, so of course I don't know. But as an outsider looking in, it really seems to me that a lot of what's going on is the Nick Brana ego show. That's the way it looks to me from the outside.
He's that freaking guy. You know, what I mean, it's the thing is that all the people who go along with it, they know it's not democratic, and it's calling itself a people's party, and you're playing along.
So is my impression correct?
I have multiple videos on this, right? There's something called the MPP
Okay,
Petitioners.
I'll go and watch it.
Or Our Revolution
I'll go
LA, you know what I mean? Also said stuff about this. There's multiple videos out there. Yo, but my videos are killer. Have you seen the
No,
MPP as a scam video? Have you seen that one?
No, I'm going to because I'm very interested in the
I'm a
MPP.
monster in this.
Because I actually think the MPP has the potential to really hurt the Democrats. Like the Democrats are scared. The Democrats are scared.
No, I know
And
what
they
they
should
are.
be.
How do you know about the Democrats?
Because I watch stuff. And I've got.
I'm running in all their circles. I run in all the circles. I join
Well,
everybody.
I don't.
I know
but let
exactly
me
what's
tell-
going on in all the circles because I joined them and I'm in their meetings and I know what they talk
Listen,
about.
As an anarchist, it pains me to say this. It makes me want to actually die a little inside.
Yeah.
But I've got very, very good political instincts. Like I can just watch something for a little while,
I have the
and like I've got
facts.
their number.
I've
got their number, and I'm like, yeah, I can
have
see
the
what's going on,
facts.
and that really makes me like, I hate politics, so why do I got to be good at it? God's got a sense of humor on something here, but yeah, no, I could just tell the Democrats are scared. I don't need to be part of it. I could tell, they should be good. Let them be scared.
They might be working together.
They might eventually, but I don't know if it's yet.
They're
I don't
already
know if
working
it's
together
yet.
in some ways.
Are
They're already
they?
working. Yes. Yes.
Well,
this is
I think the base will
highly
be really
critical.
Listen, it seems to me the MPP base is very, very sincere. And I don't think they'll put up with it for that long. Do you? They seem very sincere
where do
to
you-
me.
There are some, but the thing is that how much of that is real and how much of that is BS, you know what I mean? Also, the thing is
I
that
don't know.
remember that a lot of their supporters are armchair activists, not in the streets. So the thing is that, right, their donations may be strong. It's not that strong, honestly, but, it's 8 G's a month. That's pretty good. Not, also, right?
That's good for starting.
They're not bad, right? But also look at Color of Change, right? That's 8 million, and that's just black women. I think Libertarians, about 200,000? What are you guys at? 250?
What, a month?
No, 250,000 members.
Oh,
MPP
members.
claims 100,000. Claims, okay? That's highly contested. All right, but yeah.
membership is kind of a weird thing with the LP, because we have like official members, and then you have people who just don't want to put their name down.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very hard to tell. It's very, very hard to tell.
Well,
and again, you can be a member just by signing that pledge. So it like dues paying members is one thing, but just general free members, that's another thing.
How much
there's
are
a ton
dues?
of those.
How much are dues?
National $25 a year.
What about local?
It depends on the local.
25.
Yeah,
huh?
like in Colorado.
What do I get
in
for
Colorado,
that? What do I better get a T-shirt or something. What am I getting for that?
No, man, you get a newsletter. That's what you get.
I'm not
You
mad
get
at
a
that.
newsletter and a card.
What about one of
You
them
get a card.
crowns right there? You should send that one. You should
No,
send
man,
them.
I bought that.
You should do
There
that.
ain't no such thing
I'm
as a free lunch.
I'm gonna do something like that. I need to grow. I'm gonna send out like a free sticker to new subscribers. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. That's gonna be a new plan
But like
right here.
Colorado, we
Taking
don't
over
have
the
dues.
game,
Like each
yeah?
state's different.
Yeah.
Each state's different.
But I'll tell you another dope
But
thing that I want to work on too. Yeah. So the
What's
thing is
that?
that you guys have cable access in your neighborhood.
Well, I don't watch TV, so I have no freaking idea.
Okay. But the thing is that I want to get a national network of different content producers teaming up to put content on the public access TV.
Yeah,
We can take
I
care-
know
yeah.
people have been saying that. Yeah, that's always, you might as well. You're paying for it.
Yeah. Not only that, right, but also we can create an immediately available platform. Some people that I'm already working with in LA, Colorado, I know some people right there, and Chicago. I have someone in there too. So we can get going right now. And just to let you know right now, your show already, if you create 1 hour segments or even half-hour segments, Brooklyn Cable Access, you don't have to have residency requirement. So you can just send them your show, and your show can be on in Brooklyn. What up? Go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what ups? I want to see you grow, and then you're going to look out for your boy. Thank you very much. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. Get into Brooklyn. What up? That's what I'm talking about, all right? Yeah.
Did you like the Wayne's World thing?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Tia Carrere, what's up, girl? You can still holler at me. You can still holler at me, you know what I mean? All right. Wayne's World. Yeah. All right, so hey, that was so any last things you want to share before I end the interview right here?
Yeah, you need to join the Libertarian Party, dude.
Okay, how can they do that?
lp.org/join. That's it. And, you don't need to be worried about taking something else over. You already got something you can be in and get shit done. As you said, we're the third largest party. Why start anew when you got something right there?
Yeah, they have ballot access. They are really, in the game. As
and as I said, dedicated group, change the world.
Yeah. And libertarians are really allowing like a broad diversity of viewpoints into their party. I think it really that coalition I think is in the Libertarian Party. So, goddamn, I'm signing up at the end of this call. All right.
See ya.
All right, I'm a member. Goddamn it. All right, I'm signing up. Yeah. All right, I'll see you. Thanks again. All right, peace.
It's a dark day in our nation when high-level authorities will seek to use every method to silence dissent. The truth must be told.
And if you want the truth, you need to check out independent media producers just like myself, DJ L7. You should subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications when I release a new video.
Truth of these
We are
words
on all
is
the major
beyond doubt.
platforms. That includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Unfortunately, we have definitely seen that these mainstream outlets will cave to corporate interests, so we encourage you to join our independently moderated communities of Reddit and Discord. We also encourage you to subscribe to us on BitChute Daily Motion so you can see the content that YouTube doesn't want us to let you see. Hey, now it's time for the most important part of the video. That's right. It's time for us to tell you about the Taking Action Group. Do you need an activist? Or maybe there's no activists around willing to help you with your cause and you need to learn to become an activist. That's exactly why we're here. Every week we get up with people from across the nation, in fact even sometimes internationally, and we develop strategies and a game plan to address the issues that are affecting all of us. Every week myself from New York City and of course my co-host Lisa from Los Angeles provide a coast-to-coast perspective on what's going on in the country. If you want to donate to help out with expenses, travel, equipment, stuff like that, then I definitely appreciate it, and you can hit us off at Venmo or PayPal. Thanks a lot. Hey, by the way, we also have a merch store, so check it out. Oh my goodness, it seems like you've reached the end of the video, so make sure you check out some of our other videos. Make sure you subscribe. This is your last chance to do so thanks a lot. And looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment below if you have any questions or issues you'd like me to address. And if you're an activist, the time to make things happen is now.